We are recording this episode in Shai's bathroom.
Which is also my bedroom.
It's
vacation.
the largest bathroom I've ever seen at a house. There's a bed in there. There's a bed in your bathroom. Or is there a sink in your bedroom? You'll never know.
The only plug in this bedroom is the one for the electric razors. Everything is plugged into that. Do you see how the wires are draped over the towel holders?
So
and they go all the way around the bed.
It is a bathroom.
Your
bed is in your bathroom.
Your bed is in the bathroom. Here we are, and welcome to a live, in-person, at least for us, episode of the Friday Night Movie Podcast, because the band is back together. All three of us are huddled on a bed in my bedroom, so-called bedroom, on this vacation, which we'll get to in a moment. We are about a week out from Shelley's wedding, which was amazing. Again, Mazel Tov to Shelley and Devin and Mario and Jan and Mindy and the rest of the family.
Hashtag Heller Jazz.
You need to actually use your microphone.
Hashtag Heller Jazz.
Heller Jazz, exactly. And to Tippy and Juddy and Skippy, all of the friends.
Swappy.
Floppy.
There was
Dimple.
Swanee. That's
Swanee.
definitely
No,
one
that's
of
a
them.
real guy.
That's a real guy.
I met that guy, yeah. And Tippy's a real guy. I met him in the elevator.
Oh,
It was
yeah?
the best nicknames I've ever seen in a group of friends.
That's not in a movie.
And those guys are extremely nice guys.
You know what it reminded me of? In Psych, what Gus's a cappella group from college and all of their nicknames.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really makes me think of.
Totally like Psych. What a nice group of guys. You don't have that much high quality in a best man situation and a groomsman situation unless it's like a movie, right?
That's true.
That is true. Although I will say that shout out to Mindy, the maid of honor, our first cousin, Shelley's sister, because I feel like her speech at the wedding was like written like for a script in a movie. Like,
yeah, it was awesome.
It's like as if she had a team of writers.
Maid of honor speech. It
was amazing.
It was delightful. It was wonderful.
And
maybe Becky just saying that because she mentioned Becky in it.
I did get a mention. Did she mention me by name or just like?
No, she mentioned Becky.
Like, yeah,
so
but it was
fancy
great. That was a
yeah,
great.
I'm part of Shelley's birth story. I had the great Kamita Klein. So okay, I'll tell the story.
All right, tell the story.
So it's very, very late at night. It's very, very late at night. All the kids are sleeping. We're all sleeping over at Tio Mario and Tia Jan's house, and Jan is 9 months pregnant, which seems a bit weird that we were all sleeping there.
We were not.
Passover.
No.
We were at a hotel.
Lily and I were at a hotel.
Hotel.
You were sleeping
I slept over.
because Lily and I were staying in a room with Tio Harry.
So it was me and Bobette, our Bobette, not our mom, who's now Bobette, but her
Bobette
mom,
Salunia.
like the real Bobette Salunia. And it's the middle of the night. We're sleeping. I mean, it was probably 11 o'clock at night, but we were sleeping, and all of a sudden, Bobette Salunia is running around the house, running around the upstairs, going, her water broke, the water broke, the water broke. And I am my like sleepy little 7-year-old, like, rubbing my eyes, going, call the plumber, Bobette, just call the plumber. And for being 7, that was very funny.
It was. It's great.
So that story was told in the maid of honor speech, but it was really just that Shelley was being born. Oh, fine, I'll just hold it.
Thank you. So, from the wedding, which was awesome, we went directly on a family vacation retreat, camping trip. What would you describe this as?
Borderline camping.
Yeah, I would
For
say
me,
feels
for
like
sure.
I'm in a
I would
yurt.
say like we have an incredible ability to lean so into our nostalgia that we tried to recreate our childhood home, which would be in Canada, which, we're still in a pandemic, too difficult to get to Canada. So we looked online, like Mom and I booked this in about February, I think, where the nostalgia meter was at a gajillion. I hadn't seen you guys for nearly 2 years. I missed home so much, missed like our country home on the lake so much. And so being with you guys. And so we literally scoured the internet for something that was close enough to where the wedding was that we wouldn't have to drive too far, but that looked somewhat similar to the house we grew up in, and rented a cabin on a lake.
And it's been absolutely wonderful. A lot of boating, a lot of fire pits, a lot of air conditioning in all of the rooms but mine. My one stipulation for vacation is Mom calls me, right? Wants me to weigh in on every aspect of the house. I'm like, I don't care, Mom. The only thing I want is air conditioning and Wi-Fi. The good news is for a vacation house,
The Wi-Fi's pretty
solid
good.
Wi-Fi.
Pretty
Pretty solid
solid
Wi-Fi,
Wi-Fi.
and the router is well positioned next to the main TV should you need to go direct in to like watch something on streaming. But as we were tabulating like who would fit best, because there's a lot of people and a lot of kids who would fit best.
There's 2 pack and plays.
There's 2 pack and plays. The one room that Allie and I ended up in is all bed.
And a bath, and
It's
a
like
sink.
and a sink and a toilet that's basically in the middle of the room. I mean, there's a sort of pull door that doesn't pull all the way. You can't close it all the way.
Just to make sure you can still make eye contact with the person on the toilet while
the
you're in bed. It's very romantic. I had a poop emergency the other day, and all the other 2 bathrooms were occupied, and I come running down, and Shai and Allie are in bed about to go to sleep. And I was like, can I please use your bathroom? And Shai was just like, you cannot poop in my room because you're pooping in my room and I'm trying to go to sleep. And Allie was so nice. She was like, I'll let you poop in my room. And then like there was too much stage fright. I couldn't even do it because I was literally making eye contact with her while I was on the toilet. And I was like, forget it. I'll just
Like a
poop
toddler, watch me while I go. Hold my hand.
I was like, I'll just poop tomorrow. I can't do this.
And so on vacation, we wanted to talk about, now despite all this joking around, I would say we are living our best life. We're hanging
We're
around.
under one roof.
We're all under one
And
roof.
the big kids, there's 4 bigger kids and they're sharing a room, which
Yeah.
is like
Oh,
huge.
bunk beds, double bunk bed
Bunk
situation.
beds.
I can't believe
And-
they're all big enough for that.
And they're doing a lot of the childcare, to be honest. The
Yes.
4 oldest kids are doing a lot of the work for us. Where Mom made French toast this morning. We had bacon. And there's a concept in our family called bacon, which is because we keep kosher in our house. My older daughter announced once on vacation, the vacation where we went to when we were on the Montana, which was right before we officially started the podcast. We were just testing the podcast out. We couldn't bring any dairy because of Lily's son's allergy, so we compensated for that by buying all of the bacon in the Whole Foods in Missoula, Montana. And so my daughter declared that vacation would be bacon, and that's part of living our best life. And we wanted to highlight movies where people live their best life on vacation. And this is different than vacation calamity movies.
It's different, and
This
it
is
also
the promise for a better life on vacation and after vacation.
Right. There's 2 things. One is that like who and what scenario do you kind of become a different person on vacation? Also, you're leading up to that vacation and what you think you're going to have is like your best vacation, like how you're going to behave and the things you're going to do versus maybe what actually happens. And then in these, specifically these movies, people who go on vacation, they have like life-altering vacations and their life is fundamentally different after.
Yeah, but we're not going to be talking about Vacation, National Lampoon's Vacation.
No, because these are
those
disaster
people,
vacations.
Those are disaster
and
vacations.
bad mood vacations.
Right.
And that's not what this is about. This is about eating bacon on vacation as a metaphor.
and living your best life.
And they're exactly. So we also are not going to talk about Little Miss Sunshine or The Family Stone, which is a holiday movie. These are all great movies, but they're like dysfunctional family movies.
Right.
These other movies have dysfunctional things that people are grappling with, but in general, when you look at those vacations, you're like, oh, that would be cool to be on that vacation. Okay. Should we just like go down the list and talk a little bit
I'm
why
just
these...
which ones like strike us? Like
What speaks
like
to you?
like the first thing that came to mind for me when we were talking about this topic was Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Because you have this guy, he's super depressed, having a hard time, and he goes on vacation and he's miserable.
Is that a vacation
and, like,
they were supposed to go on together? How does it work? How do
It
they
might
end up at
be,
the
it
same
might be
place?
something like that. It might be something like that.
And I just feel like that's the movie where you see, you see how you're like how being in a beautiful place at a beautiful hotel in a gorgeous room
with Mila Kunis.
with Mila Kunis, life is pretty great.
My
And I
vacation
feel
And
like-
better
I
if Mila
always
Kunis
think
was
about
on
how
it.
he's having like the pineapple drinks and stuff. Like he's just
Yeah.
sort of like the guy, like he's just like the dude
You know,
having fun all around
sometimes
the hotel.
you need to have a change of scenery, and I feel like what that movie reminds us of, and the promise that it gives us, is that a change of scenery can really turn that frown upside down.
And also, I think there's a huge thing to be said about going solo on vacation. Not that I would ever do it, because I don't do anything alone, including pooping, because I tried to poop in Shai's bedroom. But I literally don't do anything by myself. So it's not me, but I do appreciate other people who can like
Making
go to
vacation
Hawaii on
friends.
vacation. Yeah, and
Yeah.
make vacation friends. And I feel like
No, I don't make vacation.
I feel like Allie does.
I don't.
I feel like Allie
I
definitely
don't-
like
no,
wants to know what's going on.
I have
with
to say,
everybody.
ever since we went on that Club Med vacation in Israel, was when I realized, because I remember we went on Club Med vacation.
That's the
in
only one we
Israel.
ever went to.
Yeah, because we thought Club Med would be fun. And when we got there,
we were
'cause
like,
I don't
no
know, all
one
those
in this
kids,
family is
all
a
those,
joiner.
all those
It turns out.
all those Berdugos and Brownsteins that we grew
They
up
always
with,
went
like
to
they were
Club
always going to, oh, we went to Club Med this week, it was so fun, and they come back with like, you know, beads in their hair and puka shells, but when we got there and we realized that like Club Med was, the rooms sucked and the entire place was built on participating in activities.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
We sat in the corner and played card
Cards.
games.
Card
the
games.
Entire,
Janitor.
Yeah,
That
the
card
entire
game. He's like
game.
janitor the whole time.
I remember we went to.
We had a great time.
I mean,
but just us. No one else.
we went to a talent show.
Oh, did we?
There was a talent show with
don't remember
all of the people from all the guests, and we were the only family
That
who
didn't
didn't participate.
participate?
Like there were all these funny,
Oh.
wacky.
And they
I
kept
have
trying
no
to
problem.
seat us with other people. And we'd
Oh
be
yeah, we
like,
kept be like,
no.
what? And we missed the point of that entire trip. So, but the Sarah Marshall thing is kind of cool because I do admire the way. I will never remember the name of his character. The way he
Siegel. Just say
Jason Segel just kind of embraces life on that one, and
And he really turns that situation around.
yeah, and he kind of builds a little bit of a home there. Okay, what else? For me, I for some reason thought of Eurotrip, which like
There's a lot of disastrous things that happen.
yeah, but Eurotrip is. I mean, they're a little bit getting away from the fact that Scotty got dumped, but the two twins are already going on this Europe trip that they're so excited for. And then Jacob Pitts' character, I believe is his name Cooper.
Yeah, I think so.
I think
Something
so.
like that. He's there along for the ride, pretending to still be working in the law firm where he's the
Yes,
Guterman
yes.
file, where he's constantly taking phone calls, pretending he's still in the
need to
law
watch
firm.
that. We need to
I think we
rewatch
can agree
it.
that's an underrated movie.
That is an
So
underrated
underrated.
movie.
And in the end, each of their best selves is brought out over the course of that trip.
Yeah. And they kind of going on this big adventure, and Scotty lightens up, and the siblings lighten. I mean, everyone has a lot. I also, it just makes me think of my travel trips with my buddies. After Israel, we went to Europe, but then also Josh and I did a few different trips to Scotland, and
You climbed Machu
and
Picchu
we
with
did
Josh.
the Machu Picchu thing, and to me, like those are times where when you talk about being a different person on vacation, like me on vacation.
We know you're
I-
a different
you're-
person. Not
that's-
on these family vacations, but on
No,
like your
I
real
want-
vacations. Like,
For the record, I'm the
India
one who wants
Shai.
to go to the amusement park.
You are. This is true. But I do want to, like, I know that you had to go for, it was a work trip. It wasn't vacation. But I do know you were, like, having, like, the best time, like, trying different foods and, like, drinking and, like, meeting the Dalai Lama and sending all these, like, crazy pics with, like, weird street dogs that you were becoming friends with. And I was like, who is this person? Why can't we go on vacation with this guy?
So that, or whenever I visit Israel, it's the same way. Allie's always like, "Oh, you gotta go on a trip with Israel Shai. He's so fun."
Israel Shai, right. I want Israel Shai and India Shai to meet up. Take me to, like,
no, we couldn't handle that party.
I
We couldn't
guess.
handle it.
Yeah.
It's quite a party.
That's like, but that is
All
so
day,
true.
all
Oh my
night.
God, I'm like having this huge like breakthrough. I feel like Shai in certain countries, not the United States, but Shai on vacation in other certain countries becomes mom.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's crazy. Whereas Becky and I are more like dripping a little bit of mom everywhere we go. You just like fully like transform to
yeah.
mom.
Yeah. So that's where I think Eurotrip speaks to me, because there is that like just let everything go and just
I feel like
live
I need to rewatch that.
live by the
I need to
road.
rewatch that. It's
Okay, so
good.
the one that came to my mind was City Slickers, because that is a vacation movie where it's like a bonding trip. but like they really are struggling. Like those three guys are like struggling for different reasons, but mostly their relationship together. They're trying to like bond back together, but in that process, they each have like amazing like sort of realizations about themselves and just really improve upon themselves. Plus, it's hilarious, and yeah, and I think that like we went to Arizona a few years ago.
We watched City Slickers with our kids. And
in Arizona?
yeah,
Or no, or
the
just
cow nearly dying made them cry.
Right. Well, Norman.
They
But
saved the cow.
they saved the cow.
Yeah, there was a lot of peril, as they say in like the common sense media things. There's like peril.
Oh well, I feel like that movie's a classic from our childhood, and also doesn't get talked about enough. And yeah, I feel like I loved the movie when it came out, of course, but I also love that idea of like these guys on vacation, kind of going on this adventure and self-improving and bonding again.
I mean, the point being that I think vacation gives us an opportunity to step out of ourselves and our routine and you know, look to like our, I don't know, like the who we could be.
Right, like
But
Becky before was saying like, but something about being on vacation with your kids or whatever, and I'm like always imagining, oh, I'm gonna do this and that on vacation, and I'm gonna work out every day, and somehow Shai's wife manages to do that. But
Oh no, like I don't feel like I'm on vacation right now. I have two small children.
You're on a
I'm just
trip.
I'm just on a trip watching my kids in a house with less toys
Right.
and more dangers. I
Right,
mean, that's all
exactly.
it is. There's just
With
more
no baby
opportunity,
gates.
more opportunity to fall down the stairs and less safe things to play with. There's literally just a drawer, a low drawer filled with giant knives. There's like 40 knives in there.
Becky
All
opens up a
butcher
drawer
knives.
that any of our kids could have access to, and it's just knives.
I have to say, one of my favorite moments on this vacation has been Becky, because Becky and I, we live near each other now, and I feel like we're adopting some of each other's styles.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, I feel like my rule with my kids is that when you're in Becky's hands, you follow her rules. And Becky, I feel like, is learning some of my techniques, and one of them was her daughter was chewing on a knife, but it was just like one of those regular dull ones that you know that comes
Like
in
a
your
butter
silverware
knife?
set. Yeah, not a butter knife. It's like that.
Oh, right. Just like
Yeah,
a-
and Becky's answer is the exact one I would have given, which is, what? It's not a sharp knife.
Everyone was like, Becky, she's chewing on a knife. I'm like, it's not a sharp knife.
Becky's like, look, I have to weigh the options of what it's going to take to get it away from her. Is it
It's
worth it
it's gonna be
versus
a
her cutting
worse
herself?
sound if I take it away
Than if she cuts
than
her
if she
mouth.
just does like a little paper cut. But she was fine, and I did take it away eventually.
All right, so there's some romantic vacation movies that honestly I can't say I've seen more than a few minutes of. Eat, Pray, Love, Under the Tuscan Sun. Stella Got Her Groove Back, I saw. That's a cool movie.
But that's like women sort of like
Self-discovery.
self-discovery.
Love
and
yourself so you can love someone else.
kind of situation.
thing.
Stella Got Her Groove Back was really good. I love that
That's a
movie.
great movie.
And Angela Bassett is like unbelievable.
And it's Taye Diggs.
It's
Is
Taye
that-
Diggs, yeah. Yeah, that was a great movie. But Under the Tuscan Sun is terrible. Like that's a terrible
But I
movie.
love it.
Do you?
I remember watching
love
it being
Diane
like,
Lane
this is
so
one of the
much.
worst movies I've ever seen
It's
while
that
I'm
bad, huh?
watching it.
It's
I like
really
the
bad.
trailer.
But yet I don't
really
want to turn
bad.
it off. But I don't want to turn it off.
It's really
I
not
just
good.
want to
And Sandra
watch
Oh
it.
is kind of wasted in that
She's in
movie.
it.
So she plays her best friend.
And then I
It's
mean,
confusing. I just don't really...
Eat, Pray, Love. It's like
I mean, that's the ultimate, like, woman goes to discover herself and eat
That's Julia
through
Roberts?
Europe.
That's Julia Roberts.
It's based on a book written by Elizabeth.
I just don't know if I do the.
Shoot,
I gotta be
Elizabeth
honest.
Shue.
I don't think I would do the pray part.
Oh, did you see the movie?
Yeah, I just don't think I'd go like live in an ashram and just be like silent and
You would just eat and love.
I would just eat. And I may go for walks. Although
It doesn't say eat, walk, love. It just
for it.
that's
I mean,
not an option.
Becky didn't even
Eat.
sound that
How-
committed. It
how
just sounded
about-
like eat.
eat.
what about surf? I'd eat surf love. And the love part I think takes place in Bali. And in
the
So-
movie, was she falls
No,
in love?
yeah, I'm pretty sure that section's in Bali because when Vlad and I were there on our honeymoon, I think we like walked around some of the like there people really like to talk about like, oh, this is where Eat, Pray, Love was shot.
It was shot.
So I think I was there.
So
and
what-
I was in love and I ate a lot, but I did not pray.
You did not pray.
No.
Okay.
but
Now,
we
what
surfed.
about coming of age? So,
I thought of the way back because Or is it just the way back? How many ways?
The
are
way back, but it's a little bit depressing. No?
Well, I think it's a coming of age story where a kid is forced to go on a vacation that he's gonna hate, and he's miserable and he's a nerd, and fucking Sam Rockwell is the guy working at the water park who takes him under his wing.
So
and,
I would just
gives
like it
him
known
confidence.
don't you feel like every water park guy in every movie is either Sam Rockwell or Bill Hader? Like they're both the unlikely mentors.
But it's
But I
Sam
wish
work at the
Rockwell
bar.
and that other guy. That's
I wish
fun.
they were my unlikely mentor.
It's that other guy, Shai, from that
Mentor.
show you used to watch. That's
From that show I used to
yeah.
watch.
Hold on,
That's
I'm gonna
not
look him
vague at
up.
all. Fanny, why don't you tell us?
What's his name? Come
Poorly-
on.
But what else is going in this? Is my pick of
Rob Cardry. Oh, Nat Faxon is in it.
Oh, I like that.
Oh,
fact.
yeah,
he's
he's
the
awesome.
other guy at the
He's
water
great,
park.
he's
great. Oh,
And Maya
Nat
Rudolph
Faxon's-
is in that.
Matt Faxon is a great
What
actor.
about now? Does my pick of the Sandlot count because they're not
Yeah.
going
so.
on vacation, but they're
It's
on
summer
summer
vacation.
vacation?
That's summer vacation,
Which is the same thing like
and
Kings of Summer.
That movie is so much about. I mean, like, again, there are dated elements of that movie, and I feel like you have to qualify any movie made at a certain time. But like that movie,
What is dated about the movie?
it takes place in the 60s and
But I
50s.
mean, is that why it's I think it's
60s.
60s? But is that why it's dated?
The
'Cause it's-
scene-
Well, no, it was made in the
It's literally
90s.
just
About
made in
the
the
60s,
90s,
so
and
there's like some.
There's
you
some
know,
odd stuff in it.
the-
Oh, the like scene where he
Makes
makes her
out.
CPR.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
makes her
CPR
CPR, which
and,
is like is a classic scene, but like I don't know if you would do that now. But the thing about that movie is that captures the like freedom of being a little kid and just like
Right.
your community kind of sprouts up around you and unlikely people become friends.
But it's also what we were talking about the other night with Becky's husband, with Vlad. We were talking about like when you were a kid, and we weren't kids in the 60s. We were kids in the 90s, not that long ago. We were
So
out
long
until the
ago.
sun set, like
Oh,
out
yeah.
playing on our
Yeah.
own.
And playing with people who didn't even speak English.
right. Like today.
Or it was more that you didn't speak French, Shai.
So fair enough.
That's fair enough. But
We had more than enough time to learn it.
But I'm saying is that like we don't do that now, right? You don't let your kids run around outside until dark. You have no idea where they are. and
No,
then
I
just
mean
be
we're
like, "Be
also in the
back
middle.
when it's
We're also
dark."
at the tail end of a pandemic, so I think
No,
my
I just
kids will
mean-
soon be old enough to do that. But now,
But we were like 7. We were
yeah,
younger.
no. I mean, Mom put me on the city bus
right. To
Yeah.
go to school.
when I was at
66.
7 with a 4th grader, Miri Jetikin, watching me. So
Shout out to Mary.
shout out to Miri.
66.
So I think the Sandlot, well, maybe there's some things that are like you wouldn't put in a movie today, but very few. I feel like that movie does stand up. That essence of just being a kid and out all night, and I'm
going
sure
to
there's-
when they go to the fair and they barf everywhere.
right.
Well, yeah.
And
they use chewing tobacco and then they pee
Oh,
everywhere.
that's what they do. You see, that's another
might
thing
be
he
like
probably
a-
wouldn't.
But,
see.
but
I don't
you
think
could do
they
it
do it.
in a movie about the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is funny. I forgot that's why they threw up.
Yeah,
I just
that's
thought that they ate a lot, but you're right.
No,
It's
no, no,
chewing
it's just they use
tobacco. and
chewing
they're
tobacco
on-
and
but
then-
but going and doing like just doing one thing too much, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's
Right.
total.
So nauseous thinking about that.
And they all come out, they come out better for it. What's another one that has that coming of age feel
Well, the
for
Kings of Summer is a great one. I think that was recent. It's not from when we were kids.
it? The
That's
one,
really fun.
the thing I still like they really just haven't done, and this isn't really Vacation, but I feel like they have not nailed Jewish summer camp yet in a movie.
No.
Well,
They've
I
gotten
mean,
close, but they haven't
Wet
done it
Hot
yet.
American Summer is supposed to be Jewish summer camp, right?
But
Yeah, it
it's like,
is.
but it's like a lot of things. It
And there's also aliens in that movie.
Oh,
like I
right,
love
yeah.
that movie, but it
But
also has
it
aliens
does go.
in
It does take a weird
I,
turn.
I
Camp
want like.
Cucamonga's not Jewish.
I mean, it might
don't
be.
think so.
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
I don't know.
I mean, what other camp movies are there?
There's Meatballs, very dated.
Not-
but
okay, yeah,
if
that
you
movie-
if you take out the like
Or
Like-
super
Camp
offensive
Nowhere?
horror.
the
Camp
super
Nowhere?
offensive scene, with Bill Murray and the female counselor, like the rest of it is a sweet classic sort of underdog nerd camp story. I mean, the beginning of The Parent Trap,
Yeah, that's right.
Both versions.
both versions, the Lindsay
Oh,
Lohan and the Haley Mills.
Haley Mills version, that beginning when they're at camp with the rain when they're stuck in the tent together, like my gosh, I watched
That's
that
also how
movie
I
a
always
billion
imagined
times.
camp being before camp.
Also, for sure. And oh my god, I watched that movie incessantly. That movie was so good.
The movie
so
is so
good.
good. So So they haven't nailed fully a Jewish summer camp coming of age story.
No,
just
I
yet.
don't. I don't even feel like it's been attempted, let alone nailed. Not like
I mean,
properly.
we can't even get. I mean, they've talked about. I've seen the writers on Twitter talk about how they want to do a Jewish summer camp episode of the Goldbergs, but even then, they still haven't even done that yet.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Maybe it's just sort of like this.
I don't know, guys. Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. And I know that, like, I'm pretty sure, like, Seth Rogen and, like, all his friends went to some Jewish camp in Canada or something.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
those guys must have something they could write about.
I guess I'm not sure I want them. To
I'm
be
not
the
sure I
ones
want Seth
that's
Rogen to be the
writing.
one
I'd rather have
representing
someone
the
who
summer
loved
camp.
it.
Right. At the helm.
I'd
of
rather
the
have.
summer camp.
I'd rather have Alon write it.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be the ideal person because that was his happiest place on earth.
Like many people.
Yeah, I mean
Wait,
exactly.
So we know what what Shai does, how Shai becomes mom on vacation only in certain countries. And we know that I wish I could do a bunch of stuff on vacation, but end up being too tired. Becky, what's your ideal, like, you on vacation?
What's your best self vacation?
Yeah.
My best
Oh,
self.
I'll just add amusement parks are the other thing that bring out my best party animal self.
My best vacation self.
Besides not having your kids with you.
Oh, so I get to also not have them with me, even better. Is now whether, let's say, I'm staying at a place by the beach or with a nice pool, or I'm visiting somewhere in the middle of a city. Just one activity a day, and that activity could be we're gonna go surfing, or we're gonna go walk down to explore this one little neighborhood. And otherwise, I just want to be in a restful place, reading books or watching shows and eating food. And that's it. And I just, like, for me, I want to do, like, I'm not doing anything. I need a little bit of an activity, but just one activity a day.
Agreed.
That's
I
it.
understand.
And
that.
otherwise, and then I don't, like, have to go very far or move very far. It's like I get to the place. I've done the traveling. I get to the place.
Right.
And then I just want to be in the place
well,
that
if you got this place that you, like, spent money on, why are you leaving to go somewhere else?
Right. Like,
Yeah, unless it's an amusement park.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna go. Oh no,
So
we're
Shai
gonna go.
really should just go to, like, Universal Studios or Disneyland.
But
No,
that's, like, a
because
lot for me, 'cause
that's a
that's,
bigger
like,
that's like a bigger
that's not a
amusement park
vacation.
commitment. That's different. Having just done that. That's different. When I say amusement park, I actually
like a
mean
bunch
more
of
like a
rides
Busch
and-
Gardens
right.
or a Feria situation
Mm-hmm.
or like a
Spanish
boardwalk.
Fair.
Like
Yeah.
that's what I mean. I actually prefer
Do you
a
think that
lower
there'll be
key
a fair
one.
situation in your, like, area this summer or no?
There's a good chance there could be. I can look and see. Yeah, I can look and see. We've had some good ones over the years. I think there's a good chance that they'll start to come back, the county fairs.
County fairs. That's what I was.
County
I
fairs.
couldn't remember. what you call
Okay.
them.
With all that being said, we talked about living our best selves and our vacation selves and our one activity.
One activity a day.
I've already done like 5 activities. I took a bike ride. I talked to the children.
You
I
went
ate
on
French toast.
You went on a paddle boat.
I went on a paddle boat. Oh,
Well,
what kind
bike
of day is
riding and
this?
paddle boating
It would have
in
been
one
easier
day.
for me to go to the amusement park today. What kind of a day is this? Let's now talk about what we've been watching because I admit this has been a crazy week. Weddings,
Like family
kids, people not
commitments.
sleeping, like
Yeah.
kids awake at different hours. It's
I
tough.
feel like this is the one week in your, like, you literally, like, this might be the only week
Literally, I
you
think the only thing I
watched-
watched this week is the opening scene of In the Heights.
What'd you
That's
think?
it.
What'd you think of the opening scene of the Heights?
I want to watch that movie on, like, a huge screen
Yeah, I
with
was
gorgeous
thinking that.
sound because all I felt was like, this is incredible, and I need to
I
be
felt
more
like I couldn't
immersed in
hear
it.
it.
I need a better experience with better sound and better screen. But
We
it's-
did have it on
it's
subtitles and like the minimum volume because
Because
there
they
were
all
6 kids sleeping.
sleeping.
But it blew me away. I was so tired, I was ready to collapse, and in my mind, I was like, I could get up and dance to this. Like, it was great.
What'd you think?
I'm
Lo?
excited
So
to see
gorgeous.
the rest of it. I really like the colors too.
But didn't Mom also ruin it? Like, she literally sat down and she, like, gave away a big spoiler.
No. That's just a little detail that's cute,
Okay.
not a spoiler in the plot. No, there's.
Okay.
I'd be interested to know what you think. I feel like the movie. I don't know anything about the play, but the movie, through the end of the first act, is amazing, and then there's another hour.
But that's all plays.
Yeah. So
Like,
I did,
literally
but I'm curious if I watch it again, knowing that I'll like it more. So,
Right, because if you're just watching and waiting to see
yeah.
what happens, it's better to know.
and then after that, Becky went to sleep, and Lily and I watched The
Friday Night
episode
Dinner.
of Friday Night Dinner. Again, it's on Amazon,
I have
people.
to go to sleep.
It's on Amazon.
Amazon Prime. The first
Oh,
4
that's
seasons
right.
are on Amazon
Oh my
Prime.
god, that's such a gift to the world. That is a gift.
Wait,
if
which
you're
episode
listening
did
to
you
this.
guys watch? Oh, the one with the fake
The fake shoulder, dislocated shoulder.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm watching it in order, so I hadn't I'm watching it. I
It
haven't
was
seen it.
so funny.
So
And it was funny to watch it with Lily. And that's a show that really multiple watches makes it better because we've talked about this. The show starts as if you're already in the show. There's no introductions.
no
They just
lead up
drop you into the show.
into the
You're in
world
this
of these
family
characters,
every
yeah.
week and you're going to be with them every week. And eventually you'll get all the things
Catch
that
on
happen.
to their shtick.
Yeah. And so that's a classic episode, I think. That one's
I feel like I haven't yet to see one that's not good. Like if this, I could say that this was the least funny episode that I've seen so far, and it's so funny.
yeah.
I'm usually cackling, so that show's so good.
Anything else? I really want to watch Deathgasm. It's a
Don't
movie
I can't-
about
I don't even
couldn't
want to know what
even-
it's
I couldn't
about. That
get
name
through the
bothers me
trailer
so
with
much.
It's about a heavy metal band.
Oh
It's
my
a
God.
comedy. It's about a heavy metal band that accidentally
Shai's love for comedy horror is
raises
so
the
extensive.
dead, raises the demons, and I guess they have to fight them. I don't know. I haven't gotten through the trailer either because I don't want any spoilers.
All Shai needs is like a battle of a band situation with some demons, and he's so happy.
It's his algorithm.
It is his algorithm. And in this movie, they're British. Like, he doesn't even care. He's just like,
From
oh.
No, I think they're from New Zealand.
Oh.
I feel like there's a bunch
Australia.
of
I
like
can't-
I don't know.
schlocky looking action movies out on Netflix we could watch as like a family this
That's
week.
true. I feel like you.
Yeah, I started a list. I'll look it up, I guess.
Don't strain yourself.
Well, I just feel
It's
like
only
I don't,
your
I don't, like,
podcast.
I don't remember what any of these movies were, but just that they were like Infinite with Mark Wahlberg, an action movie is out.
Wait.
Is that a
Infinite with Mark Wahlberg and Jason Mantzoukas.
Jason Mantzoukas is in it too.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so I
a
feel like that's a fun
combo
one we
I
could
would
watch.
I don't know if it's like a buddy comedy with both of them on the
Oh,
same.
and then what about the fact that JCVD has a new action movie that's in French, like a French movie called The Last Mercenary on Netflix. But that won't be till the end of July.
Okay.
That's pretty exciting.
That is exciting.
Yeah,
That sounds like a perfect vacation movie.
except since we have to watch everything with subtitles anyway, because the volume can't be loud, it makes no difference
That's
what
exactly
language
right.
it's
Mom
in.
100%
And also,
can't hear them
technically
talking
speaking,
anyways.
we all speak French.
Technically.
Technically.
I'm very excited that Bosch season
It starts
7
this weekend.
tonight,
Tonight?
Tomorrow is still
I thought it was on
on.
the 26th.
25th.
It's the final
It's still
season
on?
before the
final-
spinoff.
Final season before the spinoff. You know when you
Good
want it to be,
Lord.
you're so sad about a show ending, and you just kind of like need to revel in that sadness. I had 1 minute. I was like, I'm so sad that this is ending, and then Shai's like, there's a spinoff, and I was like, oh.
With some of the best characters from the show, including
Right.
Bosch.
So it's just really Bosch. It's just still Bosch. I don't understand
Just
how they could even
rebranded?
they just rebranded it.
It's like it's with Bosch. It's gonna have Bosch and Mimi Rogers be the main characters.
his name is Honey Chandler, which is amazing. They call her Money Chandler.
because she always wins her
She
cases.
always win her cases. Anyways, that is a huge wreck to people who are looking for like a good cop show.
Right.
That is a gritty cop show in LA, and it's very well written. The characters are great, and I 100% recommend. Then you get 7 seasons,
and it's very noir. There's one mysterious season. There's always
but the seasons go
Bosch
by
is
quick.
always
They're only, like,
playing
8 episodes.
jazz. He's always playing jazz on a record player, and
Yeah. And
Little
Titus Welliver is fantastic.
He's so good.
He's a great actor. So that is what I recommend to people. And Special season 2.
Oh yeah, I watched season 2 of
I
Special.
haven't finished it, but I
finished
really love
it.
it. Is the whole? Do you
It's
recommend
really
it?
great. Yeah, I do. The last episode feels like they rushed to wrap everything up because I'm assuming based on the last episode, it feels like there's no season 3 because it was like
well, they
let's just
probably
die of
they
all
probably
loose
were
ends.
like Netflix cancels everything,
They-
so let's just give everybody
like
an
you
ending.
could, like the story could keep going, but it's also like in case it doesn't, everything's wrapped up nicely. So it did feel a little rushed there, but the rest of the season is pretty great.
And I think my rec is also a shout out for those Avatar, Airbender, Korra fans.
That's right.
The great Janet Varney and Dante Basco, who you will know as the voice of Prince Zuko in the original Avatar and General Iroh in Korra, but also Rufio in Hook.
Oh,
So
that's all
Janet,
you
who is
need
the
to say
voice
to
of
me.
Korra, and Dante Basco are hosting the official, endorsed by the creators of the show and Nickelodeon, Avatar-verse podcast called Braving the Elements, and it just launched. So anyone who's as big a fan or not as big a fan as Becky and me
But
should be checking that
you
out
should
right
be
away.
as big a fan. It's
Maybe you guys have to
beautiful.
get me to watch that with you or something.
yeah.
this summer.
I mean, I'd love to.
I have certain shows.
The
I just
kids
don't
will
wanna
watch the whole thing from beginning to end.
Yeah.
I just like certain shows I don't feel like watching alone.
I'll watch it with you. I'll rewatch that whole
so
series
good.
with you. It's so good. I'm ready for a rewatch.
And it's not a
I'm
kids
ready.
show. What are we?
It is a kid show.
It's
but
a kid. It's like
also,
Harry Potter's for kids.
But
It-
like as an
Something
adult,
As
I
it
have
goes on, it
appreciated
gets more
even
mature.
more deeply, I think, as an adult. But I'll do a rewatch. I'm ready. I'm ready to start.
we can just
from the
start
beginning.
right
Today.
now, and then
Right now.
then the kids won't have
Let's go
to
make
do
some
anything.
lunch. I'm hungry.
Okay.
And we'll just sit and eat some turkey sandwiches and watch Airbender.
All right. So
That's my
Lily,
vacation
Yes.
activity.
where can people follow you?
Chichi Gomez on the Twitter.
Becky.
At Paper BK Princess on Twitter.
And you can follow me at pancake and the number 4 table on Twitter and Instagram. All of the Friday Night Movie shenanigans at Fry Night Movie or FridayNightMoviePod.com. Please join us in checking out the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, the Equal Justice Initiative, and the Asian American Journalists Association. These are organizations that we are supporting. And last but not least, our theme song will kick in. It is by What Does It Eat? And we will dance our way out of this tiny bathroom that is my bedroom and have some lunch.
We have to go one at a time, single file.
Love you guys.
Love you.